Hey y'all, this is Erica with Students of Life Podcast. If you're finding value in the Students of Life Podcast, we'd love your support. Your support allows us to grow and continue bringing you meaningful content. You can show your support by checking out our exclusive merchandise at studentsoflifepodcast.com. Every purchase not only gives you something unique to wear, but also directly fuels the podcast growth. Prefer to donate? That's cool. Just hit the donate button on our homepage. Every bit of support helps us expand, reach more listeners, and dive even deeper into the topics that matter most to you.
Welcome to the Students of Life Podcast. And with me is my wife, Erica.
Hi.
And today we have a special guest. And I'm going to do my best and give him the best introduction I can before we get to it. Because this is a special young man, okay? So I just want you guys to know, you don't become great by accident. It takes guts to walk into the fire, and even more to keep coming back. From the moment he stepped into the mat as a freshman starter, Ashton has made this very clear. He's here to contend. Now standing at the top of the 215-pound division as a Tennessee state champion, he's proven that the pressure doesn't break him, but it builds him. A dominant force in freestyle and Greco, and blood round Battle of Fargo, and a consistent presence in the elite national events like Junior Nationals and the Grappler Fall Classic, Ashton does not just compete, but he commands attention. But what makes Ashton different isn't just the medals, it's the mindset, the pressure, the process, and the purpose behind it all. This isn't just a story about wrestling. It's about grit, it's about growth, it's about the fight to become something more than just a name on the bracket. Welcome to Ashton's journey, you guys. Let's get into it. How you doing, Ashton?
Doing good. I'm doing
It's
great.
good. Well, we appreciate you for coming. We appreciate you for coming. And also, we got a small crowd. His father's here. Say, hey, Father.
What's going on? Y'all doing all right?
Yeah. So how's everything going in your world?
It's going great. School's about to end in a few. Getting ready for college. It's going good. Everything's flowing right now, so I'm having a good time.
Well, that is phenomenal. So, you got any plans? What about college? How's everything looking for you?
So I did have to come up with a decision for college. I ended up choosing Morgan State University. To college in Baltimore, Maryland. It's coached by Kenny Monday, the first Black Olympic champ.
Okay.
So I haven't got a chance to meet him yet, but I look forward to it.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is let's get into this thing. I want to ask you this question right here, and this is about your influences and support systems. Okay. Your coaches, your teammates, family members, and everybody who played a role in you getting where you became.
This is a really long one. So it's like various schools. I can start with the three seniors my freshman year.
Okay.
Tim, Alex, and Jalen. The various styles that they had mixed and was kind of like a melting pot for me. Alex he was tall, more around my weight. He was more stocky built and like strong. Tim was more methodical. He was patient. He taught me patience. Jalen was more funky and he could do a lot of weird stuff and he was good. And so just that melting pot, it helped like a perfect stepping stone for my freshman.
So, with that being said, with those gentlemen, is there any part of that or one of those individuals that you gravitated towards the most? And like you were saying, methodical. Did you pick up being more methodical or did you pick up other attributes?
So I'd say I kind of took a little bit from all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Tim, I'm not really like a patient wrestler. I want to get there and I want to attack. Most of the time I attack and like I get a takedown in the first 10 seconds. So I'm always looking to attack. So that didn't really fit his style. But I'm also like brute strength. I like to snap people down, do go behinds like Alex, but I can also do like funky stuff like Jalen. So I think I don't think I gravitated to one specific person. It was just like all of them helped me.
Okay, well, that's good. So what about, other people outside of the mat? Matter of fact, before we go get just the mat, what about the coaches? And how did that, help you out along the way?
So I've been coached by a lot of coaches. My high school coach, Coach Cooper, who started me. Great coach. Very good with the beginning. I mean, like the basics. And then I went to Arlington. Coach Simpson, Coach Slaughter, Coach Slaw, all the great coaches. They critique you even when you're at your best. I was even when I was going, I wasn't like where I'm at now, but I was good, and people knew I was good.
Man,
So,
if you started out how you are now, then I mean, damn son.
so Arlington's whole coaching staff is great. I really appreciate them. Houston too. They're like family. And Christian Brothers is the last high school team I'm attending practice with.
What about family? Amongst this journey.
I mean, my dad, my parents. I mean, that is kind of an understatement to say how much they helped me.
Yeah.
Get me to trips, pay for stuff. I mean, I don't have a job, so.
Oh, do have a question. Did your father wrestle you a whole lot in this process?
We've like, I wouldn't say.
Because I know him because he's torturous.
Yeah.
He's a torturous guy.
So we've been like break down stuff, but I wouldn't really say like wrestling, just because like injuries and stuff, don't want to like get him hurt or anything.
You know what? I like that. Yeah. He definitely had hurt you, Dad. I think he will.
Oh, I know he will now.
Yeah, you definitely tried to sick him on me.
Pick up a 300-pound guy with ease. And I'm not 300 pounds, so I know he'd slam me.
Well, that's a hell of a thing right there, just to have that support system because, one thing for sure is, Ashton, is that, we're only as great as the people that surround us sometimes. Yeah. And if you have that great support, whether it's family, the people on the mat, those people really help make us better. Me and your father, Erica, as old as we are.
Speak for yourself.
We're older, but, we have to surround ourselves with good people. That's what makes us great. Right, yeah. But, like, while you're on the mat, what was, like, your turning point? Your turning point, like, that moment that made you good, that shifted everything for you.
So I'd say I've had two turning points in my career right now. The first one was when I went to Atlanta to wrestle at the Super 32 qualifier. The actual Super 32 tournament is the hardest high school folk style tournament in the country. But I went up there and there was this Alabama state champ that like wrecked me. Like I had never been teched in the folk style match ever. You got to be up by like 15 points.
What grade was it? What grade was this?
Senior. I was a sophomore. It was the summer going to junior year. And I got wrecked. I got teched. And he put a pace on me that I hadn't experienced yet. And I didn't know how to feel about myself because that had never happened to me like that. Like I've been beaten, but not like that. Like that was dominance. That wasn't like he just won that match.
Yeah.
And I just felt really bad. I ended up wrestling back 2 matches, won, and then lost in the blood rounds. But yeah, after that, I knew that I wanted to change the pace of my wrestling. And that was a big, big turning point in my career. And now I'm kind of like known for my pace.
So, like in some of these sports, especially like wrestling or even like MMA, I'm gonna use this as an example. It was a fight with like Frank Trigg and Robbie Lawler. It was like in Hawaii or something. But after the fight, because Frank Trigg lost pretty bad. He lost pretty rough, and he had to get like what they call a sports psychologist to help him recover because he couldn't see the right hand coming no more, but without flinching up. Yeah. So when we lose big or when we lose bad, we have some type of mental block. Did you have one for a minute? And if you did, how did you recover from it?
I definitely think I had a mental block, and the way and it was really my coaches and my training because I trusted in my training and my coaches, and I can't do anything but keep wrestling and keep going to practice. So there's no need to complain and think about this thing that happened in the past, and all I have to do is just keep going forward.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I got over there, and I just kept training. just kept training.
What was the time frame that you are like, it took a month, 2 months? No.
It never really I mean, now it's kind of like set in a little bit, but it always felt like I was in the journey. Like I haven't reached my destination yet.
Okay. Well, so what was the second one? You said you had two.
The second one was when I started going to Christian Brothers. And that's when so I've always traveled out of I've been to Nashville a couple times, but when I started going to Christian Brothers, I started traveling out the state. So I've been Michigan, all these other places, North Dakota, and there's a new level of wrestling. And so it was a big turning point because I got to experience something new. And so because of that, I'm grateful, and it helped me because now it made Tennessee easier.
Right.
So it was just it was great.
So speaking of mindset and growth, how did you mentally push through the tough times? Do you deal with self-doubt? And if you did, how'd you overcome it?
So this year was probably my worst year with self-doubt. Because me and my dad and most of the people that I'm close with had this thought, because I was winning all these and placing at these national tournaments, that I was just going to flow through and go through Tennessee State, and undefeated and all that and win state. But it was hard, trying to win matches, and before the matches being nervous because everybody's expecting me to win. And nobody's expecting me to lose. So I'm I got to keep this, I can't lose.
Right.
If I lose, everybody's going to be like, I'm not good or whatever. But I had to stop thinking about the outcome of the match and what other people were thinking, and start wrestling my match. And then after a while, I just I wasn't getting nervous. I was getting ready.
Yeah.
And I was ready to wrestle instead of thinking about the outcome, and just ready to get to my attacks and get to my pace and set the tone of the match. And I think that changed. It not changed, but it helped me. It helped me get over it this year, because this year it was bad. I ended up end of the season 30-2. I ended up losing to the same dude twice in a row.
That's a really good record, though.
Yeah, it is. But I was expecting to go undefeated. But I ended up losing to him, and even my dad, he was on me. He was like, "Is there something wrong?" And I was like, "I just lost."
Yeah.
And for a little bit, it did not make it worse, but it was oh, dude, I really lost. And I wasn't expecting to.
So say for instance, like that feeling, was self-doubt. So how did you overcome the self-doubt? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I just kept training.
Yeah.
My coaches, they believed in me. He came up to me after I lost before regionals. He said, "You work too hard in the room to lose to somebody like that." Not belittling him or anything, but you work too hard, and the partners, the room, you do too much for it to end like that, and for you to lose to somebody like that. And I was like, "You're right." So what did I do? I just decided to train harder and even harder, and pick my partners, pick better partners, better people. I train with college guys in the room that come to the Christian Brothers room. I try to train with the best person in the room and the best person for me, and I found that has helped with my success, and self-doubt went out the window, and I gained confidence.
So I want to ask this because I'm wondering. I've been wondering for a while. I never asked. But this, it still goes into mindset and growth, but this is more so about the mindset on the mat. And I'll give you an example. This is a picture-perfect example, but say, for instance, when I was doing jiu-jitsu at one point, okay?
Right.
We had a mindset on the mat of how to approach some of these situations. So I look at this guy, I might say, you know what? He has weaknesses. Like in basketball, Allen Iverson used to love to drive to the right. And he never drove to the left.
Right.
But he was really good at going to the right, and no one can stop it. But on that mat, I was like, you know what? That guy ain't good to the right. So, when I take him down, I need to take him down to his left.
Right.
I mean, to his right side. Need to do that. End up maybe in side control if it goes right. Then I go into mount maybe. And I know that's what I want to do.
Right.
Because really what I want to do is try to get him in a triangle. At that point, you know what? I can get the triangle from the mount, but he'll see it coming.
Yeah.
And I know that. And so instead, I transition to the arm bar. And at the arm bar, it's only a couple ways he can get out. Either he give me the arm and he roll out, or either two, he roll into me. But hey, this dude's grip is really good. So I open up my left leg just a tad bit so he can roll into me. Bam, locked it in. So it's like a chain of events
Right.
of how things happen. When you're on the mat, do you have a chain of events of how things play out, or is it all just reflex?
I'd say it's a little bit of both in different moments. Like some moments, most of the time, it's muscle memory. Just how you train is how you'll get out of that situation. But I definitely can relate to how you were explaining that jiu-jitsu situation, and that's exactly how it is while I'm wrestling. There's only a few options that he can do from this position, and I know these options. I know the counter to these options. So if he does this and I do this, and it's a big chess game. It's a really big chess game, and I had to understand like mentally how to like think, but still be like, because you're not supposed to like think and like active and all this, but it's a certain level of thinking that you have to do, and a certain level of IQ that you have to be able to chain wrestle, like that.
So how long did it take before you learned how to chain wrestle like that, mentally?
I'd probably say 11th grade year going to 12th grade year, because I just had to understand wrestling.
Yeah.
I still don't understand it fully, but I understand the basics, and I can go into any room and understand and practice. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely...
So for you to get there, what you ended up doing was there was a training process.
Yeah.
And discipline.
Yeah.
You okay? Well, that's a hell of a thing, but just like anything, it definitely takes some type of training. And what did your training process look like overall? To get where you are today, because you've been doing it for 4 years, from ninth grade to 12th grade,
Consistently too.
right? So I want you to take us through this process from ninth grade to 12th grade, your training, and how did it change?
So ninth grade year, I just practice and then homework, go home. This is during the school year. So practice wasn't too crazy. I wasn't like doing any really like extra workouts or anything. Ninth grade year was pretty normal. I was like a normal wrestler. I didn't really want it that bad. 10th grade year is when I started going to a lot of camps at Arlington. It was like 6 to 9 hour camps. And I'm just like learning, and it's a lot of information being thrown at me. So I'm learning. So I'm practicing too, but it's just practice in camps. 11th grade year is when I start doing privates. I was doing privates with two-time state champion from Christian Brothers, Drake Bowers. I was doing privates with him, coaches, getting extra workouts in, practicing harder, practicing after practice, just wanting it more.
Yeah.
And then 12th grade year, I kind of kept doing the same thing. I started lifting a little bit more because I really don't lift.
What's wrong with lifting?
I really just don't. I don't really like it. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I just don't see the excitement in it. Like, let's go to the gym and pump iron. I get that excitement from wrestling, but lifting weights seems more like a to do than like a let's go do it. Like, I wouldn't do it as a hobby, but of course I have to do it in college. Of course.
Oh, you're gonna have to do it big time. Like some of the I'm pretty sure you heard of like guys like Jordan Burroughs.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's he's a monster.
Yeah.
He had a mean double leg.
And those dudes are like a freak of nature.
They are. What is he, like a 6-time champion?
He's won NCAAs. He's won Worlds. He's won Olympics. He's
phenomenal. What have you? What was his name? What's his name? Anthony Robles.
That's it.
That was him.
The one-leg guy.
The one leg. He was a one-leg wrestler.
Oh yeah. He wrestled at Arizona State.
It was. That's him.
Yeah,
that's him. That was a hell of a. I remember watching him on ESPN, but he just recently, they got a movie out on Prime.
Yeah.
On Prime.
I've actually I've met that dude. The dude that he was wrestling in the finals from Iowa.
Yeah.
I've met that dude. He's come and ran a camp at Christian Brothers. Johnny DeJulius.
Yeah.
Really cool dude. Electric. He's a fun dude to be around. He's pretty cool. I haven't got a chance to meet, of course,
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan Burroughs. Yeah. Yeah, he's a monster. I just had to bring him up, but that was a hell of a thing. So, what about, like far as, let's put it like this. When you're out there on that mat, you got these people out here looking. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. How do you manage that? Because say for instance, I got a question. The question would be this right here. When you first went out there on that mat, how did you feel? Was it a certain amount of nerves that you dealt with?
Yeah, I got like nerves in my head, my stomach, and then it's like you go check into the table, and on the way to the middle of the mat, you're looking around, see all the people looking at you, the coaches looking. You're probably like walking back to the middle of the mat with the wrestler beside you, and it's a crazy feeling that kind of never goes away. But you just kind of deal with it and find ways to deal with it. Because if you don't get nervous before a match, something's wrong.
At what point did you begin to like block it out? Because I mean, look, I've dealt with it a few times, and it can be overwhelming. The feeling can be overwhelming, knowing that people looking at you, knowing you need to perform, but it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at what point did you get comfortable with that?
I'd say I'm getting more comfortable the bigger stage that I wrestle, and then when I wrestle down. So like a level. So like I when I went to North Dakota, I wrestled at this big arena. And the stadium was massive. But then when I go back to wrestle at a local tournament, it's easier. So I'd say just experience. So like experience and other things, it just makes it makes the smaller things easier.
Right.
So I mean, even like when I experience something new, I don't know how to handle. I mean, I don't know how to deal with it at the moment. Maybe like after, but at the moment, like when I went to Fargo wrestle my first match, I was so nervous. The stadium's like massive. It's like a football stadium for wrestling. It was like 20, 30 mats or something like that. It was crazy.
So what was your biggest match that you can remember?
So when you say biggest match, do you mean like the biggest match that meant something to me, or like in general?
Just in general, like far as impact, like the the largest match, amount of people, all that.
I'd probably have to say my state finals match.
Okay. Talk about that one.
So this my state in general, or my finals?
State in general up to that finals.
So state in general, me and my dad, the brackets come out the week of before the tournament. So we're looking at the bracket. I was the 2 seed. And I just I'm looking at all these potentials that could happen with me who I'm wrestling. And the first dude, I beat him before. I teched him in the first period. So it was like okay, been there, done that. Teched the first dude last year. Second dude, I pinned him in a minute. So that was pretty. That was the quarterfinals. Yeah, that was the quarterfinals. And then my dad was talking about the dude. He had never seen him wrestle. So he was like, once I beat him, I looked over there at my dad. It was like, I kind of gave him a little stare down. Like, this the dude you was talking about? But.
Because I like to scout. You know what I mean? I like to just look at their videos and just like, okay, this is what this kid likes to do. And I know my son has the biggest tool bag I've seen in person, meaning he has a lot of moves. So I scout, and that one kid he had to go against in the quarters, I couldn't find nothing on him. And I'm like, and last year he wrestled at 175. They had 215. So I was like, I didn't know. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I ended up pinning this dude, and like I looked over there, and yeah, he was like predicted to win. People predicted him to win state. He didn't even place.
Oh wow.
And then my semifinals match. This is where I lost last year. I lost 6-3 in the semifinals. So I had this match against this dude. I've beaten people he's lost to pretty bad, but it's wrestling, so you could lose. I could lose to him still. So the match starts. I was kind of nervous, like I was explaining before, because I'd lost it previously last year. So the match started. I got to my attacks. I took him down in like the first 30 seconds. And so I felt good about that. He got up and I took him down again. So after that, just like how you were talking about people with strong grip strength. So it's kind of known like people from Franklin, that's the high school he's from, they're really scrambly. So they're hard to score on.
Yeah.
So my coach comes up to me and reminds me that before the match, and it's kind of like in my head. So that third shot that I take, he stuffs it and we're scrambling. So scrambling takes a lot of like energy out of you. So we continue doing this, and I'm continually pressuring in and getting to my attacks, but he keeps scrambling. So I end up getting tired, and we went into overtime. I had 2 stall calls in like the last 20 seconds. It was whatever. We ended up going to overtime 7-7. So we have a minute to get a takedown, or we go into like triple overtime or something like that.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a takedown in like the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Won the match, and his people weren't happy about it, but it was kind of a relief. Like I never expected to lose to that dude. It wasn't like in my head that I was going to lose to him, but it was just I was a little nervous. I can admit I was a little nervous.
And you rolled your ankle.
Yeah, I did.
Which match was that? Was it the first match?
This is my semifinal match.
The semifinal match. Okay. So going into the final match, were you kind of tired because going into overtime,
Yeah.
those things, the longer it goes on, the more it takes that energy out of you.
Yeah.
So were you going into the final match a little exhausted?
No, the way they set the tournament up, they do it in a 2-day tournament. So we wrestled all the way to the semifinals that first day, and then we wrestled the consolations and then the finals that next day. Okay. So I got a good night's sleep. I was definitely still sore. My forearms, my legs, my ankle was pretty sore. I had to get that taped the next day, actually.
Okay. So tell us about the final match. How did that go?
So
we want to hear about
the finals was crazy. They walk everybody down there at this because it's like a rodeo. So they walk us down, and then we do like this ceremony where he's on the other end of the mat and I'm on the other end, and we walk down. And they call our name, put like pictures up there. So we do that. National anthem, and then they wrestle like 3 weight classes before me. So I'm getting ready to wrestle, and I'm not really nervous. Like I was nervous in my semifinals, but I wasn't nervous. My dad was nervous, and he talks about this all the time. I'm walking back and forth, and he's looking for me, and he looks at me, and I wink at him, and he's like, he said, "What are you turning to my coach?" And he's like, He gonna get this.
He locked in,
and I was,
yeah.
And
your daddy told me about that one. I was gonna ask you about it, but you told me.
Story.
Yeah, but I had to hear it from you. I'm glad I didn't have to ask.
Yeah. So I was ready. Like I told you, I was ready to rumble. I was ready to brawl. And we got up there. His teammate won state at 190 before him. So his teammate just threw his coach, celebration, all that. And then I see his coach like whisper something to him. And in my head in that moment, I'm like, they're either game planning for me or he's giving him like words of encouragement or both. So I'm like, he couldn't like how you said, know about me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm a little like on the fence. So I ended up taking him down in like 15 seconds. I took him down 3 or 4 times in the first period. This is the most dominant match yet. Everybody else's match had went like scoreless until the 3rd period, but I wrestled the most dominant match in the tournament yet.
That's a hell of a performance. I mean, because even at that level of wrestling, those, like you were just saying, sometimes you don't get those takedowns.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go scoreless.
Yeah.
But to get that many takedowns, I mean, did you feel like you were in the zone?
I definitely was in the zone.
Or say, for instance, is this not to talk down about your competition? Did you feel like he was less than you, or you was just there at that moment?
Okay, I think it was a little bit of both. So he's a sophomore. He placed last year, but I just didn't. I feel like it just wasn't his time. He not like belittling him or anything, but I just feel like he has 2 more years. He didn't want it bad enough.
Yeah.
And you could tell just by like the match, slowly but surely he like started going downhill and like started like giving up, and I felt that.
Yeah.
But the stakes are higher when you're a senior. This is your last high school tournament. So I mean, I wanted it bad. I wanted it more than him.
So I do have a question kind of I want to ask, because when I looked at your weight class, I'm like, he's 215. I'm like, damn, 215. For one, I'm like, Ashton ain't that big. I'm like, he can't be. When did he gain this weight? Then I asked, like, no, he went in at 195. So this is the first part of the question. How'd that happen? How did you end up, you know,
Transitioning and going up?
Right. I mean, because you were still small.
Yeah.
Compared to what everybody else would normally weigh.
Yeah. I was.
Tell me about that.
So I mean, like since my freshman year, I was always behind. Like I wrestled 180. I wrestled 195. Yeah. So I've always wrestled up a weight class. I was wrestling like weighing like 182. So I just like kept gaining like muscle. And then I wrestled 190 last year, and I was cutting weight forward just a little bit. But then over the summer, I kind of like let myself out of 190 a little bit. I still wrestled a little bit, but I started lifting more. And eating more, and so I started gaining more muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat, so I started gaining like more weight, and I'd see, and I was like I was supposed to go 190 for state, but the scent play and all that stuff messed up. But I'm glad I end up not, because I can eat now. I didn't have to cut weight.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you didn't have to cut weight then?
I didn't.
So you went in full strength.
So last year, I lost in the semifinals. I had to cut weight to wrestle that next day. I cut weight 3 times in like the span of a couple of hours. I had to cut weight that night, that morning, and when I got to the stadium.
You were depleted then.
I was depleted. My lips were purple, cracked, bleeding. I don't even think I was able to sweat. It was hard. That was definitely.
You couldn't perform then.
I couldn't.
Yeah. So I would say, this is just my assessment. I'm looking at it. You went in at an advantage compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure some of those guys had to cut weight.
Yeah.
You went in at full strength because you didn't have to do that.
Right. And that strategy, I mean, a lot of people do that. A lot of people play like weight bully and cut weight to be bigger than other people. But I just felt like I was faster, more healthy. And your conditioning's good when you're full and not tired.
That is true. And
not like depleted. So I mean, my conditioning was great. Besides that semifinal match, the nerves kind of got to me. But besides that, I felt great. Even that second day a little sore, but definitely not cutting weight played a big part in it, because cutting weight it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know how it is. I mean, not only do you do it, but I'm pretty sure before you became a wrestler, or as you became one, boxers do it.
Yeah,
they do it. Mixed martial artists, they do it, and that cutting weight drains them tremendously, and it has a large effect on their performance.
Yeah,
so you saw it firsthand. So the question would be, like, with that scenario right there, was that your worst weight cut?
Yeah, that's the worst I felt with the weight cut. It's not the most weight I've cut. I cut for like freestyle and Greco State. I cut like 22 in a week.
Jeez.
I was I can't remember. I think like my math is off, but I think I was like 205 or something.
Yeah.
And then that Monday, by Friday, I was 188. So it was a pretty big cut, but I didn't feel like awful. I was drained and depleted, of course, but I didn't feel like that. That was the worst I've ever felt from cutting weight.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going 97 in college, so it's a lower than 215, but it's more like, that's my like perfect weight, I'd say.
Correct. Okay.
I was kind of upset when they took it from 90 to from 95 to 90, and it kind of made the weight cut a little harder.
Yeah.
So that's when I made the choice to go 215.
Awesome.
I'm glad I did.
So, out of all of this, right? Out of all the 4 years you've wrestled so far, what would you say wrestling has taught you the most about life and resilience?
I'd say hard work can achieve dreams, because it's one thing to like be able to say that, like, everybody, that's a thing, like, if you work hard you'll achieve your dreams, but it's one thing to actually do it and experience it. You work 4 years for a goal and you finally get it. It's like it's a surreal feeling that doesn't even feel real, and it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a surreal feeling. And I just...
So if you can't explain it, then how do you feel? Or how did you feel when you won state?
Like I did it. Like, I know that's kind of like vague, but like I did it. Like I worked. I put in hours in the wrestling room, countless practicing, coaches, all this just for this 6 minutes. And I put everything online and won. And it felt like it was almost like weight off my shoulders. This is real. I was actually having trouble sleeping, like this whole postseason. I couldn't sleep. I was waking up sweating. I had to like wash my sheets, dry my sheets because I was sweating so much, and I didn't know why. It was just anxiety. But after I won state, I could sleep. I can sleep now, so it was just like weight off my back because everybody was like over me, like, you're gonna win state this year? I'm like, yeah, that's the plan. I'm like, it's a lot of pressure. And then finally when I won, I'm like I can breathe. Like I did. I won state. Everybody, I was expected to win state. I did it. So it was like a relief.
With you saying that, say for instance, because I know your mother, I know your father. They put in a lot of work themselves. And I will attribute that work ethic that you have based on you seeing them. Because if you never saw them work as hard as they do sometimes, it'd be hard for you to understand or see the effort that you have to put in to actually be great. You know, they put in work. They tired as hell. They are. But that's part of it. If you want to be great, there's no stopping at that. So with this one right here, we definitely commend mom and daddy for being a good example of saying, you know what, this is what you need to be and this is how you need to go about doing it. Because if there was anything less, you wouldn't have been what you were.
In this position.
So even if you didn't recognize it in the moment, it's something that happened. We become what we see. We don't become what we hear.
Right.
We become what we see. You saw them do and put in a lot of work, so we clap for mom and dad on that one too.
Appreciate that. A lot of driving, a lot of Saturday mornings, all that. Yeah. I'm gonna miss it. I really am. I'm gonna miss waking up at 7, 8 o'clock, driving him to the venue, then going back home, getting something to eat, then going back up there at like 9 or 10 or 11 and waiting until about 6 or 7 at night. You know what I mean? We went to Ironman last summer. We were there for 16 hours. You know what I mean? In the gym, just waiting. And I remember hating every bit of it. Hating every second of waiting like that. And I just, I would see my son over there with his friends, his coaches, and in between stuff, he would come over there and sit with me. We'll check people. We'll talk about stuff that's going on. When they're Not Like Us dropped, we were in the gym and at Summit High School, and we were talking about that. And just like he has grown over these last 4 years, being my guy. He's one of my best friends in my life, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss it.
but that's part of being a great parent, and putting forth that effort and showing them this is how it's done, and we don't give up.
Don't quit.
Yeah, we don't give up, and I'll say this to I tell this story to multiple people. I think I know I told your daddy. I don't know if he remember it though, but this dude in the gym, he was training me for a match, and I was kind of scared of the guy. You know, he was a monster. And he said, "Hey, what are we doing?" I'm like 30, 40%. He said, "What the F is 30 or 40%?" He said, "Either we doing this shit or we ain't." And I carried that motto for the rest, from then on up. Either you're doing it or you're not.
Right.
And what you're doing right now, son, is you're doing it, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of the effort you put in. And then I love seeing your mother and father, be there with you, because you can't be what you are without them right now. Yeah. That is amazing. And congratulations on that, father.
Kudos, Daddy.
Yeah, good job.
Thank
man.
you.
And good job, Mama. You're not here, but good job to you too.
I think you bought it for him for like winning a tournament or a birthday.
Oh yeah,
your bag.
Yeah, my bag. That did play a big part. Traveling helped. That bag and a duffel bag, the only thing I needed. It was perfect.
Well, when you do great things, it needs to be acknowledged. And to me, you deserve that because a lot of young people don't put in the work. They don't put in the work to accomplish great shit. They just don't. But you did that, and I couldn't have been more proud of you. Not only just as call you my nephew, but technically godson. You know what I'm saying? So no, you deserve that.
Thank you.
And whatever else you get, you deserve that too. As long as you keep putting in the work, you only get what you put in.
All right.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
It's life.
Yeah.
Speaking of putting in work, what are your future aspirations? We know you're going to college for wrestling, right? We know that, and we know you're excited. Do you plan to stick with wrestling? Do you want to try something else? And after everything you've been through, would you consider mentoring other athletes, younger athletes?
So I definitely, I don't know if I would be good. I kind of think I'm like a Michael Jordan. Like he was a better player than he was a coach. But maybe like along the way, because I've coached matches, kids, and stuff like that. But right now, I don't really know if I do it. But I do like coaching kids just a little bit.
Yeah.
Besides wrestling, though, I do want to become a psychologist. Not become a psychologist, get a degree in psychology.
Okay.
And then either become a sports psychologist or go into law school.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the plan. That's what I want to do. And and it depends on how my body is after wrestling. Because really, I don't want to stop wrestling until I'm like 35. I love it too much. But if my body doesn't allow it, I'd probably switch over to jiu-jitsu just to like stay on the mat. It's a little easier on the body. Definitely a lot easier than wrestling. But I want to be on the mat.
But with that right there is, especially with the you doing jiu-jitsu, or we'll just say like MMA, right?
Yeah.
The reason why you got a hell of a foundation because the majority of people, even statistically in MMA today, are mostly dominated, and for a long time, the most successful people were always wrestlers.
Roman Greco.
Yeah, they were always wrestlers. So even going into jiu-jitsu, that's a really a good advantage because you determine how things go. You have a foundation, so you'll probably be successful at it. You'll definitely be successful at it. And also, you was talking about your, like future aspirations and everything. And this is just me, being me. I'm always giving advice, and whether you decide to take it or not, but it's out here. And it's more so to give you understanding about how things how we navigate things. Because a lot of what we experience, what I've seen in this life, Ashton, is we've done things backwards. Okay? And what I mean by this is we have this process. Sometimes we choose what we do, and then we want to find ourselves. But we've been doing it our whole life. I've done it early on. Erica, your mama, your father, most adults have. We've been taught backwards. So what this means is that you do your best at finding out who you are right now today. And then you align yourself with what you want to do in your future. Whatever the hell it is. But definitely make sure you always know who you are. Because as you progress, you're going to always have to find out who you are because it changes. Who you are today may not be who you are. By the time you're 25, you ain't going to be the same person.
You'll be completely different.
You'll be completely different.
You'll see the world completely different.
Yeah. So this, the process of self-discovery is an ongoing journey. It never ends. But always know who you are. If you always know who you are, you always know what you need to do. Well, you have a better chance at understanding what you need to do. Let's put it like that. So, and then that's just the wisdom I want to impart on you. Just try to remember that.
Sorry.
Don't work backwards because it can kind of screw you up long term.
So, being that we've had this conversation, and you have a lot of knowledge, right? I don't think you realize exactly how much knowledge you have, right? What advice would you give to other athletes? Maybe not even just wrestlers, but athletes in general. Like, how would you tell them to continue to keep going, even through wins, but more than anything else with your losses?
I'd say I talk about this with my dad. I've never considered a loss a loss. I've always considered it a learn. And I know people say that all the time, but it's real. You assess on how you lost, on even how you win. You can learn from winning. Everybody makes mistakes even when you do win. So I'd say just of course never give up, but focus on the small things. The small things make the big things. And it could be a matter to your footwork, your sleep schedule, your training schedule, but the small things. I had to learn that people are so stuck on the big picture on why this stuff is not happening that they look over the small things. And I think the small things matter. And I definitely think that that is something that all athletes, all people, should learn and remember and should stick by that.
Well, Ashton, that is phenomenal. You are a phenomenal young man, and you have a great mind. You articulated everything well, and so we're gonna get ready to, I guess, get ready to bring this to an end. And the only thing I want to share with you, I don't know if Erica has anything to share with you, but it's this right here: dream and think big all the time, kid. It takes as much energy to think small. I mean, think big as it does to think small. So think and dream big all the time, and you got that, okay?
Piggybacking off of that, don't ever let anybody put you into a box, Ashton. You know what I mean? Or even if you box yourself in, the greatest advice I can give you is never close the lid, right? Just because you're experiencing something right now, it's just a small moment in time. It's not your life. You have a whole life to live. And, starting out great, if you stay with what you're doing now and you stick with the mindset you have now and you grow on it, you're destined for greatness.
Is there anything that you want to say before we leave, Ashton?
It's something I want to say and to put into people's mind. So I've seen this quote a bunch. I can't remember the dude's name. But it was the main character, the dad from Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when he won a Grammy and he gave his speech, and it was talking about who his not his dream, but who his hero was. And he said that his hero at the moment, his hero was himself in 10 years. And later on, the same dude came and asked him, "Are you your hero now?" He said, "Nah, it's myself in 10 years." And he kept going. And the more he talked, the more I started to understand it more, that it's that constant like strive for greatness that keeps people keeps people in greatness and keeps people striving. And so that's something that's stuck with me for a while, ever since I've seen it, that like my hero is my future self, and my future self in the future, it will be myself 10 years later. And I'm never perfect. I will never be perfect, but I will strive for perfectness.
Man, that is great, Ashton. And thank you for sharing that with us, okay? That is,
It's beautiful.
man, it is. And shit, you've inspired me. I've never looked at it like that before, but damn, that is phenomenal. But I appreciate you sharing that not only with us, but everybody else who's going to hear that, okay? Sorry. And so this is it. This has been a Students of Life podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Live and learn.
Life is a lesson.